Hello everyone. Not too much has changed since last time, but there have been some significant changes. So first, as usual, get your latest video driver. If you have an nvidia video card, get your nvidia driver. I think 440 is not the newest one, but I'm currently out of the loop. If you have an AMD video card and you want to use the non-proprietary driver, that's okay, you already have it, you don't need to do anything else. Next, install Steam. If there is the Steam installer in your distro's repositories, you can also get that. I believe it's a small program that connects to the Steam servers and downloads all the necessary packages for Steam. I've also written down currently the newest Proton version is 5.0, but I'm also using the previous one, which is 4.11, just in case something doesn't work with some game. You can always revert back to old Proton versions, see if maybe things get fixed. Saved games location, if it's Steam games, I've intentionally left some space here, so this number here will be different for every game. This is the Steam games ID, which you can get from the Steam store page, and I believe this is the ID for GTA 3. obviously normally here there isn't any space. This is what the different part is, and maybe sometimes saves won't be in my documents, but usually that's where they are. I've also written down some notable Steam launch options, but there are obviously more possibilities than that. Game mode, if you have a problem with the FPS, you can always try and run the game under game mode, see if things get fixed. No eSync also can help with FPS drops if you have any FPS drops. WIND3D, if your video card doesn't support Vulkan, then you won't be able to use the XVK. And if you have some native Linux games, these are two possibilities. I'm not aware of any others. Usually they are in home username, whatever your username is, .local, and then share, and then there will be some folder name with either the game name or the developer company's name or maybe the publisher's name. Another location where you can find them is simply in home username, whatever your username is, and then dot the name of the folder. If you don't know, the dot makes the folder or file hidden, so if you don't have view hidden files enabled, you won't be able to see this folder. Okay, next, wine and winetricks. I have written down install wine installer. I'm on Linux Mint, so we have the wine installer in the repositories. I believe it doesn't install the newest version, so we can always refer back to WineHQ. I'll put the links to the sites in the description. You can then check out all the information you want regarding all these topics. This is a command which enables you to check your wine version, obviously, and then also installing winetricks is valuable if you don't want to create or at all deal with any wine bottles. You can also use winetricks and Lutris because, well, Lutris makes use of winetricks. You can also use winetricks for Steam's Proton bottles. These are the two initial commands. First, if you're creating your own wine bottle, you have to specify the wine architecture, and then every time you want to go and edit some options, you have to first specify the wine prefix and then call winetricks. And obviously the same can be done with the proton bottles, but the path to the proton bottles will be different. And if you're interested in creating your own wine bottles, I won't go over this again, but these are some notable things you probably want to download for them to work under, I would say, most environments, most games at least. Next we have dxvk. Not too much to say about this one. You simply go to the dxvk GitHub page and you follow the instructions, and that's about it. At some point Lutris was crying about something, and I did several things. I don't know what exactly fixed it. I just added this command here, install Vulkan utils. I believe it's short for Vulkan utilities. I don't really know what exactly those utilities are. I don't know if it really helped, if it really was what Lutris wanted, but just in case somebody gets stuck at some point, you have this to try as well. You can always remove them if you want to. And just to mention, dnvk is now included in dxvk, I believe, since version 1.5, so you don't have to do anything additional for dnvk. Async, same old story. You check the number with this command. If it's something like 4000, then you obviously need to edit a couple of lines in some documents, and this will enable you async for systemd users. For distros that have systemd, that use systemd, this is these are the steps. And non-systemd distros usually require only this. Most distributions, as far as I know, use systemd, so the top option is what you're looking for. You can also do this one. I believe you can find this file even on systemd distributions, so even if you don't know if your distribution uses systemd or not, you can try and do every single one of these steps. I don't think it will really hurt. Next, get Lutris. Obviously this is specific to the distribution I'm currently using, which is again Linux Mint. You have to go to the Lutris site and look at the necessary things you have to do if you're on any other distribution. Game mode, again, same as before. If you need to add the repository, you add the repository, you update the repository list, and then you install game mode. And then you do this check here to see if the file exists, which means if it exists, it means everything went as it's supposed to go. And these are a couple of commands which enable you to control game mode, or simply the first one is game mode -r, which enables or disables game mode, and game mode -s checks the status, which tells you if it's enabled or disabled. Then if you want to enable game mode in Lutris, right now there is a toggle, but if for some reason the toggle doesn't work for you, you have to add a new line and enter these values for the keys and for the value. In Steam, you want to write game mode run %, and I've specified here usually goes at the beginning of the line or as the first option. So for example, for CSGO you write game mode run %command %first and then the game specific options. I've given an example of two of those. Finally, if you're using an AMD video card, which is an RX 300 I believe, or newer, you will be able to use ACO. It's the Valve developed shader compiler, and it has been included in Mesa 19.3 and newer, so you don't really have to do anything if you have Mesa 19.3 or newer. If you want to enable it, again you write rad v underscore perf equals ACO %command %, and then you can also check if it's running with dxvk underscore hud, let's say equals full, again %command %, and you can nest several of those commands. Write this command first and then space, write dxvk underscore hud equals full, for example, and then space and then %command % only once, and then after those you can type in any additional game specific options, and that's about it. So thank you for watching, and until next time.